my dude. All right, so in my never-ending quest to get through all of these movies, this week I only managed to get to 3 of them. One was pretty damn good, one was okay, and another was just simply an hour and a half of my life that I ain't getting back. Either way, I'm here to briefly tell you about all 3 of them, and this week, these are the horrors I've seen. I don't know, that didn't seem to flow too well. Go to hell, Michael. Alright, I only got the 3 of these this week simply because my work schedule's been crazy. My birthday was last week, so I went out a few times, and the heat, quite frankly, has been kicking your boy's ass, and all I want to do is sleep. In addition, this video typically goes up on Saturdays, but this past Saturday, I had an opportunity to spend the day with my wife. So it was either make this YouTube video or have a nice day with my wife. So needless to say, this video is on Monday. So the first thing that I watched this week, strangely, this movie's been out for 22 years. I've probably owned this movie on DVD for, let's be generous and say 15 years. I bet you it's more than that. M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. I have seen several of M. Night's movies. M. Night, like we're boys. I've seen several of his movies, and I've liked a whole hell of a lot of them. Some more than others, but for the most part, I like his work. This movie, somehow, some way, has flown not under my radar. I've obviously been aware of it. I've owned it. It's been sitting on this goddamn shelf for 15 years. Or, as I said earlier, probably more. But I never got to it. I finally got to it, and I thought it was all right. I mean, I wasn't completely blown away by it. This movie is, for those of you, for the 6 people out there who've never seen this movie is Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. Sam Jackson is at birth, he has broken arms and broken legs all throughout his life. He's very, very fragile or breakable. And he is into comic books and superheroes. And he is doing what he can to find like a real life superhero who is unbreakable. And that character is portrayed by Bruce Willis. Don't remember what his name is. The other dude, I don't remember his name either. But Sam Jackson's character gained the nickname of Glass because he's so fragile. But he ultimately is... He more or less is killing people trying to find the guy who is unbreakable. Like I said, I thought that movie was okay. I definitely was not blown away by it. I typically don't watch movies out of order, but I did watch Split right after that came out on physical media, not knowing that was kind of like a sequel to Unbreakable. Well, not kind of. It's in the Unbreakable universe, I'll put it that way. And I definitely like that one more than I like this one. I still haven't watched Glass. That one's got to happen soon, but I'll probably watch Split again before I get to Glass. You guys don't care about that at all. You're here for my opinion of this movie. I thought it was all right. I definitely thought it was worth the watch. It was good, but I wasn't blown away by it. And it seems that historically, people that I've spoken to who have seen that movie loved it. I did not. I thought it was good, and if I never see it again, I'm probably going to be just fine. But if you haven't seen it, it's worth the watch. I know that he has several other movies out there that I prefer over that one. But there's a couple of them that I like this one more than as well. The next thing that I watched was something from the Masters of Horror. I think that it aired on, I think that the network that aired that was Showtime. Not sure, not absolutely positive. Don't have Showtime, but bought every single Master of Horror DVD release when they came out. And this time around, I watched Dream Cruise. I watched this movie back when those things all came out on physical media. I won a fantasy football league one year. Here's a little story for you. Won a fantasy football league one year, got a whole big pile of money, and really didn't know what to do with it. So I ran out and bought every single Masters of Horror episode on DVD. I think they were either 12 or 15 bucks a piece. And I spent a shitload of money on them. Watched every single one of them back then. Again, liked some more than others. Some of them were great. Some of them were all right. Some of them kind of sucked. This one, for me, kind of sucked. I did not really care for this movie at all. This is basically a guy witnesses the death of his brother. His little brother drowns when they're little kids. They're out on a boat. Little boy falls in the water. Can't get the boy out of the water. Probably could have got him out of the water, but he was scared to let the kid drown. Years later, he's now an attorney. He has a meeting with a client. Goes out with the client on a boat against his better judgment. He doesn't want to go. Turns out he's tapping this client's wife. I think they're married. Doesn't really matter. Wife, girlfriend. He's tapping her. So now this guy, the client, has it out for him. Then they get out on the boat, and as it turns out, the client was cheating on his wife with the girlfriend that he has now. Ultimately, he killed his wife, and now they're out on the ocean in this boat. The client is being like possessed by his dead wife. It's kind of a mess. It's a little bit all over the place. And quite honestly, it took me 3 days to watch a 90-minute movie because I was bored to death. Fell asleep a few times. The only person that's in that movie that I ever saw before was the client. And the client was portrayed by, don't know his name, but the actor that was the male lead in Audition is the guy who was in this movie. I'm going to go ahead and assume that he is Ryo Ishibashi, I believe is his name. Pretty sure that's his name, because Daniel Gillis is definitely not him, and Yoshino sounds like a girl. So I think that he is Ryo. I think that's the guy. But if you have 90 minutes of your life that you simply don't want, go ahead and check out Dream Cruise. If you actually are productive with your time, skip that one. And the final thing that I watched was probably my favorite vampire movie of all time, and that is, this glare is bullshit, 30 Days of Night. Absolutely my favorite Josh Hartnett movie, and I'm a Halloween fan. So he was cool in H2O. He was way better in 30... The glare again. He was way better in 30 Days of Night. And like I said, I think that this is probably my favorite vampire movie of all time. Such a fantastic idea. Zombies come in and start to attack or prey on a town that goes dark for 30 days in Alaska. So they basically have there is no threat of sunlight. So they go into this town, shut the whole town down, and it's just a big vampire buffet in there. Josh Hartnett is the police chief, and it's his duty to try and protect his citizens in this town against this vampire invasion. Incredibly well-made movie with an absolutely brilliant idea. Outstanding acting performance by Josh Hartnett in this film. It's just great. The vampires look great. The vampires in this movie are pretty amazing looking. You got one that looks like David Draymond from Disturbed, and then the main vampire in this movie is just about the most horrifying image that I've ever seen in my life in a horror movie. That may be an overstatement to some people, but to me, that guy is terrifying, and he pulls it off wonderfully. Everything about this movie is amazing. The idea, the acting, the practical effects, just the look of the vampires, the friggin' setting is amazing. It's just fabulous. There's literally nothing that I don't love, not even love about 30 Days of Night. That one, I'm assuming that everybody out there who is watching this video, because clearly you like horror movies, has had to have seen 30 Days of Night. And if you have not, very much unlike Dream Cruise, watch 30 Days of Night. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It's spectacular. So that's it. So I don't even think I have to give you a rundown. The best movie I watched this week was 30 Days of Night by a frigging long shot. And the worst movie that I've watched was easily Dream Cruise. That movie, like I said, if you're into throwing away your time, or if you just want want some background noise to sleep to, throw Dream Cruise on. That'll probably do you right. I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. Thank you for watching, folks. See you in the next one. Later, Mike.